good with y'all, family? I hope everybody's having a blessed day. But we gonna talk about, patience, y'all. Patience is first because, your body emits that, y'all. Patience is a frequency, y'all. So, how you are so calm, subtle, and you might not let shit, attack you, y'all, because you're prepared mentally for everything that's out to get you, y'all. You already know the battle. The battle's against your energy. That's why it is important for every chosen one to equip one power up with them. And the power up you should be asking yourself is patience, y'all. Your power as a chosen one is already your presence, y'all. Your presence brings everything to you, y'all. Or it's going to reveal yourself to everyone around you. Because you're either going to pull in or you're going to be the one that's, the center of attention. Because they can't run from that light that is shining, y'all. You're like the sun, y'all, beaming over everybody, y'all, and only temporarily you can be blocked depending on if you choose to lower your energy, y'all, because you are so powerful, family. That's why the best thing you can do, y'all, once you wake up from this world, y'all, is to find that patience within you. Everybody has patience, y'all, because it's not something that you go outside for. You don't go buy patience, y'all, at the store. You work on your spirit, y'all, and the more your spirit it starts to feel lighter, the more patience you start to gain. You know what, family? Because you're not asking for nothing. You already accepted your reality for what you already have. When God sees you happy with what you are already with, He's going to bless you with more, because now your body's at a state towards more calm to receive more, family, So, in a way for you to get this kind of message, family, just realize you must go within first, family, because that's when you build up your energy, y'all. Everything that you want or everything that you are trying to, grab a hold on, it requires energy, y'all. And that's why you are here, y'all. That's why your physical body is here, Your soul, it being in your body already is power, because now you're here physically for you to manifest things, right, y'all? But go within, family, and go, master patience, y'all. Just like someone will master fighting, master knowing how to spit game with women, you want to master patience, y'all, because everything will not go in your way in a time or a period to where you might want it, family. Just say you like a girl, or just say, you feel antsy around people, y'all, but you can't get away from them now. You're going to have to, learn acceptance, y'all, because you can't control everybody else's energy, y'all. You can only control yours, so protect it. But you're a wise soul, y'all, and that's why you have to protect your energy. If you don't protect your energy, y'all, people will use that shit against you, or they will make you forget that you have any protection by them making you feel like you don't know who you are, y'all, by trying to attack you. You don't want no one to attack you, y'all, unless they don't really know who they are. If they don't know who they are, family, well then you can accept that and, try to push positivity onto them. But they may not like that as well, because they're not pure from within, y'all, and that's why they feel like they're already dead, or they feel like, life has defeated them, family. But your job should be, as a chosen one, is to master patience, y'all, because patience can only be your friend or your enemy, y'all. Patience is not going to help you until you truly have spoken to it and have allowed it to, because you might be in a rush for things, family. But why is that? Why do you feel like you must need everything now, y'all? And better off if you have it. What then, y'all? You just get that feeling, but it's not forever. So that's why it's important to master your presence, y'all, because once you master your presence, y'all, well, you don't really care about anything, y'all, because you're happy with self, y'all. You're happy with you, and you're the biggest gift that this world is relying on, because if you don't have a positive energy, well then wherever you go, y'all, you're going to emit negativity to the whole world, y'all. that's how you bring everybody down, or that's how people usually bring others down, y'all, without knowing, because science, y'all, hasn't been told to them in their everyday life, you know? It's really deep out here, y'all. Science is not only in a classroom, y'all, taught you about something, you know? No, science is all around you, family. Science is the shit that people can't perceive, y'all, whenever they feel presence, but they can't see somebody. That's because somebody was vibrating higher than them on the scale to where their body can't be perceived, y'all, because now they're operating through their spirit, that Holy Spirit that God has given you through your avatar, y'all, you know? But I'm only gonna give y'all this, y'all, because I have mastered patience, y'all. And patience is a, you know, I'm not gonna say a law of the universe, y'all, but it's a code from the universe that was rewritten for you to master the present moment, y'all. The present moment shouldn't be a problem if you have mastered patience, y'all, because whatever happens, whatever you are doing, y'all, you just gotta let time, you know, flow and waste throughout the day, you know, family? Not everybody can take patience, y'all, and that's why you probably are alone right now, or you don't have many people you relate to because they're not patient individuals. You will know if you are patient, y'all, by how you are treating people around you. You know, if you step on people or you just, you know, crack jokes on them, well, that's probably because you feel something within you to do that. You know, everything's reflecting upon how you see life internally, y'all. Everybody has an internal reality, no matter what. So if someone doesn't meditate, y'all, they still have an internal reality, y'all. It's just their internal reality, y'all. They haven't been living in it. So they've been letting, you know, any thought just hit their brain, y'all. And if they don't have no willpower or no self-control with those thoughts that they're receiving, y'all, that are not theirs, can be used against them. And they might act on shit. And that's how people end up, you know, participating in things that could either harm them or make them act on something that these motherfuckers end up regretting later, y'all. That's why you might end up seeing people who are old trying to hit on kids, or you might just see, you know, vice versa. A lot of people trying to kidnap other people. That's because those thoughts that hit their brain at that moment, y'all, and they didn't have enough self-control to just, you know, stay calm and be nonchalant, y'all. They had to react. You know why? Because that ego wants to feel perfection. That will be your downfall as a man, y'all, if you always are letting your ego decide your battles for you, y'all. Because your ego is to remind you that you have the strength, but your higher self is to remind you that you have the belief, you have the control. And the more stronger you attack, y'all, you will see it, because your most higher self is with you, you know, family. But what will block your most higher self and your ego from becoming one, y'all, is that lack of patience, y'all. Because you're gonna force yourself to do things that your body might not want to do, you know. For instance, if you have patience, y'all, where you're gonna flow, you're gonna, you know, not let anything that's outside of you control your emotions, because you already know the reality that you are living in. You already know how the game is gonna function. You can't control it. The only thing you could do is just let it be. And that's why you're right here, right now, family. You know, just step in. You know, family. But I remind y'all, family, it is important, before you try to, you know, have, you know, experiences with other beings, y'all. Say you are trying to, you know, find a woman, or just say you are trying to, you know, be around family, friends, or just have good, you know, experiences. Master patience, man, because you know, that just shows maturity in your growth, y'all. You're maturing, and other people may notice that, y'all. So you're gonna inspire and impact other people around you. It's not a possibility, it's a fact. Because when you have this light, y'all, it goes unnoticed. So people are gonna look at how the light is treating the light, you know. And once you treat your light like you never want to let it go, that's how people are gonna start treating themselves, y'all. Because they're gonna protect their fucking vessel, you know. But little do you know, you're the one that's leading the pack, y'all. Because people are going for you for motivation. You know, when they feel like losing their energy, y'all, but they keep it, they watch your videos because they realize that they're not in this war alone. And that's all I want y'all to see right there, y'all. That's it. Even if you feel like you lost, you didn't, y'all, because there's millions of people in your same, field of mind. It's just y'all not around each other all at once, but y'all go through same things. Family, don't beat yourself up about nothing, because there's nothing you can do. That's why I say, family, learn patience. Learn to master the present moment. You might not feel good every day, but as long as you can learn to accept that you are living the life you want to, y'all, nothing can contradict what you are putting in, y'all. The work you do will never go unnoticed. So if they want to talk about your work ethic, if they want to talk about you being so bright, if they want to talk about you being a positive being and it irritates their ass, just let them. Because them bringing your name up is giving your spirit more energy for you to, harvest, y'all. But I give y'all this download, y'all, because to get far, to become someone that people want to look up to for aid, guidance, or for wisdom, right? You must have patience within information, y'all, because to even give a video, to even sit here for 20 to 30 minutes like I used to, family, that just shows you how much patience I have for myself, y'all. How much respect I have for myself to sit in a video, because I know that my supporters watch this and they like to take in the information. They value my presence. They fuck with the gems I give. And you're never alone, y'all. Why would you want to watch a video that's going to give you entertainment, y'all? Would you rather watch somebody that you're going to gain from instead of watching something that's going to make you feel temporarily satisfied? Because whenever, you're bored of your ass again, y'all, you're just going to go back to entertainment, y'all, when you should be learning something that's going to help you in your younger years, so you can become a CEO like the rest, y'all. The goal is not to become somebody to be watched forever. The goal is to be learned from. And then you teach others, y'all, so they can learn as well. So it eventually, builds a reality for the ones that are trying to make it. But I remind y'all, family, there are two type of individuals and groups. The ones that will proceed, succeed, and take it, whatever. And there'll be those people who don't even try, y'all, because they don't have the energy to start. They don't believe in themselves, so they're against their own, their goals, because the ego wants to figure out when the perfect time is, y'all. But I'm literally telling y'all, the ego, it wants to be right all the time. You can't, because your higher self will test you, and it will let you know, this is not what you should be doing right now. But once you master that patience, y'all, well, nothing can get to you, or nothing can feel like it's too far away, because you're not really worried about the future, y'all. You can only do so much. That's why I say live in the past and accept what you have now. And once you master, staying calm, flowing like the trees around you, everything that you are seeing or wanting will open up to you, and you will see what it is and why you had to be patient. But I remind y'all, family, it's going to take a little bit of time, but you can get there if you believe in yourself, family. But I'll see you on the next video. Remember, without patience, you are nothing, because it's just like a tree, y'all. How can a tree grow without having the ability to build a foundation, y'all? It can't even build a foundation. It can't even build a tree trunk, y'all, if there was nothing level to it. You gotta have something, and that something is you, your presence, your energy. You matter. Remember that, because you are matter, y'all. But I'll see y'all. Know your worth.